Good scrap, man. I'm telling y'all, lock in. We 10 days out. We got to be paying attention. Shakur Stevenson, Edwin Santos. And I love when they got these kind of matchups where it's that powerful puncher, that guy holding that dynamite versus a skilled fighter and Shakur Stevenson. Oh, it's going to be interesting, baby. I want to see how this one plays out. Got a prediction for y'all. Let's talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big T, Heavy Bet Boxing TV, man. If you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag, hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, D1, Merc, 1ML21, Skinny, JT Black, Jesus, my guy Troy Jack, Keywan, Rebel Life, Modern King, Letitia, YK World, Tyree Celestine. Big shout out Sean Don, Punch Drunk, New Church, my Aussie family, Mark Wynn, 913 Boxer. Man, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Now, Shakur Stevenson, all the skill in the world, man. You got to be a purist, right? You got to be a huge boxing fan to appreciate the sweet science style, right? We talking about guys that don't have a lot of pop, given time, with an accumulation of just accuracy shots, they will break you down, but not that one punch power, not that mauling style that'll beat you into submission early. None of that, right? But the pure sweet science, the hit and not get hit, the stick and move, right? I'm a fan of that because sometimes those styles match up and create beautiful chess matches to watch. I like that. I appreciate that style. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm bloodthirsty like the next man. I love a good brawl. I love rock'em sock'em. I love every aspect of the sport of boxing. But the styles that you all feel, for the most part, are boring, I enjoy them. There's a lot of people out there just like me that enjoy these styles, right? And I say that to say, of course, Shakur Stevenson gets a lot of, backlash for his particular style, right? A lot of people feel like it's boring. A back foot, pop shot, and defensively responsible to the core. And now you couple that with somebody who's willing to take chances, has dynamite in both hands, coming in there to knock you out at the end of the day, gained a lot of notoriety, especially after the Venezuela fight. And Santos did what a lot of people weren't willing to do, which was poke the bear, right? He told Keyshawn Davidson, this was last year, he told him, listen, you don't want to fight me. You know me, I'll beat you. And he was saying that about Shakur Stevenson and Esau Pitbull Cruz, right? Fearless, right? And has the style to get in there, or has the power to get in there and change the course of any fight. Now, mind you, at the end of the day, if he's in there and he's able to connect clean on Shakur Stevenson, it will be the biggest power Shakur Stevenson probably has ever tasted, right? He could hurt Shakur Stevenson. Hell, he could knock him out cold. That's the kind of power Edwin Santos has at 16-1 with 14 knockouts, right? So that's always intriguing, man. That power puncher versus that skilled fighter, which style prevails? We've seen it go both ways in the past, but in this particular fight, what prevails? Now I gotta be honest here. If you look up the stats, I think Shakur Stevenson is probably one of the least hit fighters in the sport of boxing. Right. I remember seeing a stat a few fights ago where they put it up for Shakur Stevenson. The percentage of punches landed from his opponent, it's ridiculous. The defense is so buttoned up. And again, that's why people feel like he's extremely boring, because he sticks to the game plan. And real quick, if you're one of those people listening to this video and you hate the fact that somebody comes in there and they never get touched, you got to remind yourself again, what's the object in boxing? What's the object of the sport? It's to hit and not get hit. You can't just rule out defense. You got guys in there who mission is not to take as much punishment as possible, and Shakur Stevenson happens to be one of them. Now, granted, you love the fighters who willing to take one to give one. I get it. I love that shit too. But I also understand from a fighter's perspective about not wanting to take no punishment. You know what I'm saying? It's an art there. It's a beauty there, that I believe deserves to be marveled over too, just like we marvel over the guys who go in there and just straight go to war, right? I appreciate both sides. But for Shakur Stevenson, he's not willing to risk a lot. And again, I think that's the knock on him. And I think once he begins to open up and understand, maybe there's a ceiling with this particular style, maybe he'll open up. But if he never does, I get it and I understand it. And for me, not knowing what the game plan for De La Santos, and I'm gonna give y'all my prediction now, not knowing what the game plan for De La Santos is coming into this fight, if that game plan isn't to maul, disrupt, close that distance, keep it close, make this a really, really tough, ugly, downright, I'm just on you like on some, damn, what's my boy name? The brothers, man, I can't even think of their name real quick, bro. Figueroa. If it ain't like a Figueroa type, you know what I'm saying? What's your Sebastian Fundora type of pressure? Like, you have to be on top of Shakur Stevenson every second of every round, mauling, stepping on his toes, pressuring him, putting him up against the ropes. You have to smother him with your offense or just your presence, period, in my opinion, and make this fight look ugly to actually have a shot if you're De La Santos. Because if not, I think he gets exposed. I think, the hand speed and the footwork of Shakur Stevenson makes these type of power punches like De La Santos is, who's a really good boxer, by the way, does have some really good boxing ability, but I just don't believe working behind a jab and trying to set up those shots is going to work. I think it's going to be spots in this fight, if that is the game plan from De La Santos, where he's going to look extremely slow. We're going to be like, damn, the hand speed is apparent from Shakur Stevenson. The footwork is apparent from Shakur Stevenson. He's kind of making Edwin De La Santos look slow, right? So if he can adopt that just kind of mug you style for this fight, I think he has a better opportunity to do it. Now, if he doesn't, I think Shakur Stevenson off the back foot is, he's going to shot him to death. He's going to feint him to death. He's going to pick him apart, and you're going to see a disparity in his skill set. I think a lot of people understand that Shakur is really good. I think people understand that. I think they understand that his defense is really, truly buttoned up. They just hate the fact that that's the style. You know what I'm saying? They hate the fact that he's not knocking guys out in beautiful fashion. I seen people compare him to Guillermo Rigondeaux. And I hate to say so, but there is, some similarities there. I do believe Shakur Stevenson is a little bit more exciting than Guillermo Rigondeaux for sure. But I can see the similarities at the end of the day. But I also, again, as far as the prediction goes, I think he outboxes, of course, De La Santos for the better part of these 12 rounds on the way to a unanimous decision. And that's contingent upon the style that De La Santos brings into this, right? If he's on that mugger kind of maul style, then maybe it's different. But if he believes he can work behind a jab and set up shots against Shakur Stevenson, then I think it's a wash. All right, I think we see a beautiful display of the sweet signs, which I appreciate, displayed from Shakur Stevenson on his way to a unanimous decision. If not, and he mauls him, I think we can get a different outcome. But I think Shakur's footwork can control the style of this fight, and I think he's going to do that to a T on his way to a unanimous decision. So I take Shakur Stevenson, unanimous decision over De La Santos, displaying some beautiful, sweet signs that goes underappreciated at the end of the day. All right, that's all I got for y'all on this one, man. You let me know who you got in the comment section. Damn, my videos be so long and my phone ringing. But you know who I got with me Roger's in the building. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.